Sunflower. Honeybees are a very good pollinator of sunflower. So bees are the pollinators of many crops. You may come across many type of honeybees, like we have the indigenous honeybees as well as the exotic honeybees, right? Of all the aquatic animals, maybe the shellfishes or even the other aquatic animals like the lobsters, like the prawns, etc., etc. But the fish flesh is of high quality food as it contains very important nutrients like the proteins, like the vitamins. Fishiculture. Rearing of fishes is called as fishiculture. Rearing of aquatic plants and animals is called. Hello my dear students. Welcome to session 3 of this very important chapter called Strategies for Enhancement in Food Production. What did we learn in the last session, that is session 2 of this very important chapter? We studied about what is breeding, what are the types of breeding, that is outbreeding, inbreeding. Then outbreeding is again of two types, that is outcrossing, right? So we also came across artificial insemination and what are the advantages of artificial insemination. What are we going to study in today's session? By seeing this picture itself, you can make a guess. So of course, today I am going to discuss about a very, very important concept, that is about beekeeping or what we otherwise call it as apiculture, and also about fishiculture. So what is beekeeping or apiculture? It is nothing but an extended form of animal husbandry. It has been an age-old cottage industry, and this beekeeping has become one of the occupation of many people, right? Particularly in the rural areas, many farmers have taken up this as their career. As you know, honey has a great nutritive value, and particularly it is having a great value in the indigenous system of medicine. As you know, honey, the byproduct of what we call it as the honey bee is particularly having a great role in playing a great role in the economy of a country also. Now let us see what is this beekeeping or apiculture. So normally you might have come across in forests and in other areas the bee hives, right? But here beekeeping is like making artificial hives called apiaries. It is called apiaries. Here you can see the artificial hives are made. So you can see this person how he is well protected from the bees, and I think all of you know bees, one such insect which belongs to the phylum Arthropoda class Insecta. It is a very many people are afraid of these bee sting, right? Sometimes it may prove fatal. So the care should be taken. It is not actually, to be very frank, beekeeping or apiculture is a very easy process, you can say, but only thing is there are certain methodologies. So you should have the knowledge about the bees, how to culture them and how to maintain them, how to maintain the beehive, how to extract the honey. All those knowledge will definitely help the person in taking up this as a very important occupation. So what is beekeeping or apiculture? As I said, it is a maintenance of hives of honeybees for the production of honey and wax. You may come across many type of honeybees, like we have the indigenous honeybees as well as the exotic honeybees, right? So like the rock bee, then the little bee, right? So we have this indigenous like Apis mellifera, which is quite commonly used in the process of beekeeping, right? So what is this? It is the maintenance of hives of honeybees for the production of honey and wax. Even as I said, honey is having a very good food, it is having a very nutritive value, because honey is a food of nutritive value and finds use in the indigenous system of medicine. I think many people, like particularly in the field of Ayurvedic medicine, honey plays a great role. Many medicines are prepared with the help of this honey. So honey is a food of nutritive value and finds use in the indigenous system of medicine. And you might have come across the bee wax, right? So the bee wax is used in many industries. So what is it used for? You know, honey, the bee wax is used for making some of the cosmetics and particularly the car polishes. You know, it gives a shining appearance. So and polishes of various kinds. So not only car polish, but polishes of various kinds. So what is beekeeping or apiculture? It is the maintenance of hives of honey bees for the production of honey and wax. As I said, honey is a very good food, and it is having a lot of nutritive value and has a great place in the indigenous system of medicine, particularly in the, as I said, that is indigenous means particularly in the Ayurvedic medicine. And bee wax, as I said, the byproduct, it's a very, very important byproduct which is used in the making of some cosmetics, and it is also used in the making of polishes of various kinds. As I said, you come across both the indigenous. What do you mean by indigenous? The native variety. The exotic, like Apis mellifera. Then here Apis dorsata, Apis florea. All these are the indigenous ones. So usually we come across this exotic variety called Apis mellifera is used particularly for beekeeping, for the production of honey and for the bee wax. So now let us see what are the species of honeybees used in rearing. That is Apis indica, right? Our native, that is the indigenous type. Then Apis mellifera is the exotic breed, that is the Italian breed, and Apis florea, which is called little bee, is again an indigenous breed. So we have different types of honeybees which is particularly used in the process of beekeeping or apiculture. Usually we, as I said, artificial hives are made which are called as apiaries, and usually it is made in the courtyard or maybe on the rooftops or maybe even in the crop field. And not only that, it is going to enhance the rate of pollination, particularly as the bee, the insect, the pollination through insects is called what? Entomophily. So maximum number of flowers are pollinated through insects, and one such insect is what? Bee. So usually that is what will come across. What are the advantages of beekeeping or apiculture? So here you can see how the artificial hives are made, and these are called as what? Apiaries. And 30 to 50,000 honey bees are found. Honey bees are found in the honeycomb. The beehive is also called as what? Honeycomb. Now let us see once again what is beekeeping or apiculture. So what is apiculture? It is the maintenance of the hives of honey bees for the production of honey and wax. And honey is a food of nutritive value which is quite commonly used in the indigenous system of medicine, and particularly the bee wax is used for making many products like cosmetics and for making of different types of polishes. So what are the species that are quite commonly used for the honeybee, that is for the rearing of honeybee? Rearing of honeybee is called as what? Apiculture or beekeeping. So species of honeybees used are Apis indica, then Apis mellifera, then Apis florea. As I said, the commonly used is what? Apis mellifera. So this is usually used for bee rearing. Right. So as I said, usually it can be reared in open yards or maybe on the rooftop or maybe even in the crop fields. Here you can see how in a wide space, and as I said, it is also going to enhance the rate of pollination in flowers. Many of flowers are pollinated because of this apiculture also. Now let us see what are the advantages. So the following are the important strategies for successful beekeeping. So whenever I think you can see this beautiful picture. See how the honeybees are, and see the honeycomb with the honey, right? So you can see honey is sweet to taste and it has lot of nutritional value also. So what are the strategies that need to be taken care for a successful beekeeping? So knowledge of the nature and habits of bees is very, very important. So it is not just an easy process. Definitely it will be more easy if you have a knowledge about the type of honeybees that are used for rearing, how do we culture them, how to maintain them, how to maintain the beehive, how to protect oneself from avoiding the bite of these honeybees. All that care has to be taken. Then definitely this beekeeping will be a successful one. So what is it? Knowledge of the nature and habits of bees is very, very important. Then selection, as you know, honeybees are polymorphic. honeybees are polymorphic. What do you mean by polymorphic? There are 3 types of honeybees. One is called the drone, that is the male. Then the female called queen. And the third one called worker bee. The very word itself will tell you. Actually, these two, so drone fertilizes with queen, right? But what is the job of worker bee? To maintain the honey hive, that is the bee hive, and also to clean the bee hive. See how successfully and round the clock it works. Hence the name worker bee. So as I said, honeybees are what? Polymorphic. You come across 3 kinds of honeybees. So the very important thing is what? What are the 3 types of honeybees? One is called drone, that is the male, and the female called queen, and the worker bee, right? So here knowledge of the nature and habits of bees is very, very important. Then only the maintenance or even the rearing of honeybees will be quite successful, and also they can come out with a lot of honey and even about the bee wax. Then selection of suitable location for beekeeping. This is very, very important. Proper place should be selected for the rearing of the honeybees. As I said, it should be an open area, and particularly wherever you come across more flowers, there particularly you have to start this rearing of the honeybees. As I said, honeybees visit a flower and suck the sweet of a flower, that is called nectar, and that is how the honey is made by the honeybees. So selection of suitable location for beekeeping is very, very important. So usually it should be an open yard, or it can be a crop field, or it can be a rooftop, particularly in an area where the more flowers are grown. That is again an added advantage for beekeeping or apiculture. So selection of suitable location for beekeeping is very, very important. Then only the beekeeping or apiculture will be successful. Then management of beehives. So management of beehives is very, very important during different seasons. So as you know, the flowers will flower at different seasons. So based on that, that is the management of beehives during different season is very, very important, right? Then next, handling and collection of honey and bee wax. So you might have come across many people like in forest, the tribal people, particularly there are a set of people called Jaina Kurubas, where their very job is of what? Collecting the honey from the trees. So they have a very good idea about how to collect, how to kill the honeybees and then extract the honey. So in a similar way, so handling and collection of honeybee and bee wax, particularly in beekeeping is very, very important, because this is an artificial beehive, and they should know the knowledge about how to collect the honey and the bee wax. All these are very, very important strategies which need to be maintained for a successful beekeeping. Now let us see one by one. So what is it? Knowledge. What are the strategies, important strategies of successful beekeeping? One is knowledge of the nature and habits of the bees. Then selection of what? Suitable location for beekeeping. Very, very important. First, we should know the nature and habit of the bees. As I said, the honeybees are polymorphic. There are 3 types of honeybees called the drone, the queen, and the worker bee. So they should have an idea about these bees. As I said, we have both the indigenous species of honeybees as well as exotic species of honeybees. Like for example, Apis mellifera is the one which is commonly used for beekeeping, that is for beekeeping or for apiculture. So that knowledge should be very, very important about the type of honeybees that are used for rearing. Then selection of suitable location for the beekeeping. It's very, very important. As I said, just not a simple place. So the person who is rearing the honeybee should have a good idea about the location. And as I said, particularly it should be in such a location where the more flowers are grown. For example, like an open crop field, that is also a suitable place for beekeeping, or it might be an open yard, or it might be a rooftop also. So all these are the things which the care should be taken for beekeeping. That is selection and location for beekeeping. Next, catching and hiving of swarms, that is the bees. As I said, it is polymorphic. They should have an idea. But as I said, the worker bee is mainly involved in building up the honey, the beehive, maintenance of the beehive, and also about what? About cleaning the beehive. So they should know about the swarms, that is about the 3 types of, about the types of honeybees. Then management of beehives. during different season also is very, very important. And handling and collection of honey and as well as the bee wax is also very important. As I said, honeybees are quite dangerous if at all they are not, if a person who is rearing the honeybee does not take care of himself, then definitely it may prove fatal. So the care should be taken to see that they collect the honey safely and even the bee wax. So all these are the very important strategies. As I said, nowadays it has become an occupation of many people because honey is having a very good economic value in the market, and that is the reason why many of people have taken up this, and even the government has come out with lot of programs for encouraging the people for going for this apiculture or for successful beekeeping. Even the government, even the forest department is also helping the people to take up this as an occupation, because many people don't have an idea about, everybody is afraid of the honeybees. So that may be a hindrance for many people taking up this as an occupation. As I said, particularly in the rural areas, even the farmers have taken up this as a successful occupation, right? So if at all they maintain all these important strategies, then definitely beekeeping will not be a problem to anybody. Next, see how beautiful it is. So you can see the sunflower, right? So it is a very good pollinator of sunflower. Honeybees are a very good pollinator of sunflower. So bees are the pollinators of many crop species such as sunflower, apple, pear, etc. So keeping bee hives in crop fields during flowering period increases what? Pollination efficiency, and proves what? Automatically even the yield will be very high. So this is again an added advantage. Like if you rear a honeybee, that is if you the honeybee rearing is taken up in a crop field, that is an added advantage. See, as I said, keeping beehives in crop fields during flowering period increases what? Pollination efficiency, and also what? Improves yield. So obviously the yield will be more and beneficial both from the point of view of crop yield and honey yield also. So both are benefited. So automatically the crop yield will be more. Why? Because pollination would have taken place very successfully, and at the same time the honeybees get the nectar from the flowers, and even what is the byproduct? The very important is what? Honey is also obtained. So we have two advantages like rearing the honeybees in a crop field. One is it is going to enhance the pollination of the plants, particularly flower like sunflower, apple, pear, etc., whereby the yield, and apple, sunflower, pear are all commercial crops. So they're having great demand in the market, and obviously it is going to enhance the yield. Yield means the quantity as well as the yield of the honey also. Both are benefited, right? Farmer is also benefited, and particularly even the person who is rearing the honeybee is also benefited. So what is the main object of a rearer who is taking up this as an occupation? To get more money, that is to obtain what? More honey as well as the bee wax, as both are having lot of economic value in the market. So definitely even the crop yield is going to enhance, and at the same time even the honey yield also is going to enhance. So beekeeping should be practiced in an area where there are flowering plants. As I said, what is the advantage? Like what is the location you need to select for the apiculture or for the rearing of the honeybees? It should be particularly an area where, particularly the region where the flowering plants are more. As you know, the honeybee visits a flower for what? Simply without any reward. Any insect will not visit a flower. As you know, it is attracted by the beautiful color of the flowers, and also by the sweet smell of the flower, and very important is what? The sweet of a flower called nectar. Right? So then particularly the area should have more of flowering plants, and that is an added advantage for the rearer who has taken up beekeeping as an occupation. And fruit orchards, then orchids and cultivated crops. So all these are the important things which need to be taken care by the rearer of the honeybee. So definitely beekeeping or apiculture has become a wonderful occupation of many people, and not only that, as I said, honey is having lot of nutritive food value, and not only food value, it is also used in the indigenous system of medicine. So definitely, and it is having lot of economic value in the market, commercial value, and definitely this honey as well as the bee wax has lot of demand in the market, and because of this increasing demand for honey and bee wax, definitely many people, particularly the farmers, have taken up this beekeeping as one of their occupation. Hope you have a good idea about what is beekeeping, right? Moving on to next very important extended form of animal husbandry, that is the fisheries. So as I said, apiculture as well as fishery are the extended forms of animal husbandry. So as I said, what is the main aim? Food production. Provide production of sufficient food to meet the demands of the increasing population of our country. And as I said, fish is one of the fish meat has great value, has great economic value as well as food value. So even fisheries is one of the very important occupation of many people, and it has provided employment to millions of people. And not only that, fish meat and as well as the fish byproducts are having lot of economic value in the market, and as I said, particularly this fisheries is being taken up as an occupation of many people. Now let us see what is this fisheries all about. Till now we came across what is bee apiculture, how do the person rear the honeybees, and what are the strategies that are need to be implemented for rearing of honeybees. As I said, honey apiculture also has become one of the occupation of many people. So it is a process of catching, processing and selling of fish and other type of aquatic animals like the shellfish and other aquatic animals. But the very important thing is about the rearing of fishes. Rearing of fishes has become a very, very important. Now, this has become very, very important. Rearing particularly of all the aquatic animals, maybe the shellfishes, or even the other aquatic animals like the lobsters, like the prawns, etc., etc. But very important is rearing of fishes has become very, very important. As I said, fish is having lot of economic value, food value, and even the byproducts, particularly the cod liver oil. The cod liver oil is very, very much is having lot of economic value. Now let us see what a large number of people are dependent upon fish products and other aquatic animals such as prawns, crabs, lobsters, edible oysters, etc. So, fisheries can be both marine fisheries as well as inland fisheries. What do you mean by marine fisheries? Marine fisheries means like rearing, particularly catching the fishes in the marine water, that is the sea water. What do you mean by inland fisheries? Like rearing and catching of the fishes in the freshwater bodies, may it be like the river or the ponds or the lakes. So some might be the natural ponds or lakes, etc. But whereas in some artificial ponds and lakes are made where the fishes are reared. So as I said, there's a great demand for the fish and the fish products. So definitely this has become an occupation, particularly in the coastal states. This has become an occupation of many people, and not only that, it has provided employment to millions of people, and even as you know, it is also exported to different countries also, because fish is having a lot of food value, and it is very rich in protein, and it is easily digestible. So it has become a supplement of food also. So such as I said, even the other aquatic animals like the prawns, crabs, lobsters and edible oysters. Even pearl oyster, you might have come across the pearls that are produced from the pearl oyster has lot of great demand in the market. And there are edible oysters also. Some of the freshwater fishes which are very common includes katla, then labia rohita, and even some carbs. So all these are the freshwater fishes. So hope you, as soon as you see this picture, you can make out that what I am going to speak about. So it is nothing but about the fisheries. As I said, fisheries, there are two types of fisheries. One is called marine fishery, where the fishes are caught from the marine water, that is the sea water, naturally. And whereas inland fisheries is where the fishes are caught or reared in man-made ponds or lakes, etc. So we have different two types of fisheries. One is called marine fishery, the other one is called inland fishery. As I said, a large number of people are dependent upon the fish and fish products and other aquatic animals. As I said, even such as prawns, crabs, lobsters, edible oysters. So what are the common freshwater fishes? Like one which is found in the rivers, or some are reared in man-made ponds or lakes, includes katla, then labia rohito, and some common carp. Now some of the common marine fishes. See how beautiful these fishes are. And it is an aquatic animal which has which belongs to which class? Class fishes, and it has gills for respiration, and all over the body it is covered by scales, and it has fins as organs of locomotion. So as you know, it is purely an aquatic animal and it cannot survive on land, right? So I think you might have studied in first PUC about the features of fishes. We have two types of fishes, that is cartilaginous fishes and bony fishes, right? So shark belongs to what? Cartilaginous fishes. So what are some of the common marine fishes are? Hilsa, then mackerels. Shark, as I said, it is a very dreadful fish which belongs to cartilaginous fishes, then eels. So you might have come across now the production of fishes has increased to such a greater extent that there has been what we call it as blue revolution. You might have come across green revolution, white revolution, that is the production of more of milk. We have already come across in dairy management. And what is blue revolution then? Blue revolution is nothing but what? The process of increasing the fish production by various techniques, research and development. As I said, now the fish production has become a great demand. The fish flesh is of high quality food as it contains very important nutrients like the proteins, like the vitamins, particularly vitamin A and D, and very important minerals also. Fish is a very good source of omega-3 fatty acid. Omega-3 fatty acid. It is an unsaturated fatty acid. Fatty acid, which is very much required for lowering the triglyceride levels, and also reduces blood pressure. So as I said, fish meat has a high food value and it has high quality of food as it is made up of proteins, lipids and 66% of water. And as I said, it is and the protein that is found in the fish meat is easily digestible. And can be used as a dietary supplement. So when the fish is having so much of advantages, then definitely it will be taken up as a very, very important occupation of many people, and that is how fishery has provided occupation for millions of people. As I said, fish and the fish products are having lot of economic value, particularly the cod liver oil, fish oil. The fish oil, or it is otherwise called cod liver oil. So as I said, so all these are the advantages of the fish meat. Then definitely, and we come across different varieties of fishes that are reared, maybe artificially or maybe also we find fishermen catch them naturally either in the sea or even in the freshwater bodies like the rivers or maybe the natural ponds or lakes, etc. As I said, fish meat is having lot of food value as it is rich in proteins, lipids, minerals, water, and very important is protein. So fish meat is having a protein which is easily digestible, and that is why it is used as a dietary supplement. And also fish meat is a very good source of omega-3 fatty acid, which is quite commonly used to reduce the triglyceride level and also to lower the blood pressure. And as I said, even the fish liver oil, the fish oil, that is the cod liver oil, also has great economic value in the market in terms of, as you know, many people use this to maintain their good health. So this is all about the fishiculture. Now let us see what are the differences between aquaculture and fishiculture. Rearing of fishes is called as fishiculture. Rearing of aquatic plants and animals is called aquaculture. So what is the differences between aquaculture and fishiculture? The first very important point. Rearing of all types of aquatic organisms in water bodies. So artificially also we can rear them. Here rearing of fishes is particularly called what? Fishiculture. Here rearing of aquatic animals. It might be like the prawns, the lobsters, right? The crabs, the crustaceans like the crabs, all this is called, even the aquatic plants also is called as aquaculture. But here rearing of only fishes, is called fishiculture. Then there is a small quantity of special feed provided from outside. So the fish, you might have come across the feed that is provided is in small quantity here. Here fish feed is provided from outside. And economically important substances are obtained. Here it gives only food substances and the food products. Right, you might have come across, as I said already, the fishes, even aquaculture is also having a great demand in the market. It has a lot of commercial value, so also fishiculture. Now let us study once again what is the difference between aquaculture and fishiculture. So rearing of all types of aquatic organisms in water body, there is a small quantity of what? Special feed provided from outside. Then economically important substances are obtained. Here rearing of only fishes is called fishiculture. Rearing of aquatic animals, there it is called aquaculture. Then fish feed is provided from outside. So as you know, naturally, for example, you come across the fishes in the, the bigger fishes feed on the smaller fishes, smaller on the smaller fishes, smaller again on the phytoplanktons, the plants that are found in water. So that is how the feed is provided from outside. Here we are going to feed the aquatic animals. It gives only food substances and the food products. So here many economically important substances are obtained. So this is very important concept from examination point of view. That is aquaculture and fish. Both the beekeeping as well as the fishery, as I said, is an extended form of animal husbandry. So care has to be taken to see that what is a very important aim of animal husbandry, that is to the production of sufficient food to meet the demands of the increasing population. So as I said, besides the conventional method, many technologies and many innovative methods are implemented, maybe in rearing of beekeeping, bees, or maybe in fishiculture. So due to this modern technology and modern implements, definitely fishery and beekeeping or apiculture has become an occupation of many people, and that is honey and the bee wax, and here the fish meat as well as the byproducts of fishes are having great economic value and commercial value, and also it is increasing the economy of our country. So that is the reason why both apiculture and fishery are very, very important extended forms of animal husbandry. Then the importance of fisheries. As I said, fisheries has an importance place in Indian economy. As you know, it is having a great role and it has become a source of income for many people. Right? Many, as I said, it has become the livelihood of many people. And not only that, good number of varieties of fishes are exported to other countries, and definitely it is going to increase the economy of our country. So it provides income and employment to millions of fishermen and farmers, particularly in the coastal states. As you know, many people will take up this as an occupation, and particularly people living in coastal areas, their only job is what? To catch the fishes from the sea. So definitely this has become an occupation of many people and a source of income also. For many, it is a source of their livelihood. In order to meet the increasing demands of the fisheries, different techniques have been employed to increase the production. As I said, people are not sticking on to the old conventional methods of rearing of these fishes or maybe even the bees. So some new techniques or new methodologies are implemented so that the production will be more. That is the fish production will be more, and there the honey production as well as even the bee wax. As I said, bee wax is used for making many products of cosmetics and even for making of polishes of different types of polishes. Here, as I said, fish meat is having a lot of food value as it is rich in protein, lipids, then minerals, vitamins, particularly vitamin A and D is very rich in the fish meat, and it is a very good source of what? Omega-3 fatty acid, which reduces the cholesterol level in our body, that is the triglyceride level in the body, and also reduces what? Blood pressure. So definitely this has become a very important source of food of many people. So production of aquatic plants and animals through aquaculture and fishiculture is also one way of production of has become one of the occupation of many people. So you can make out how advantageous. So I think here you can see. So a beautiful picture of this world. So what is this? This is nothing but what? The coastal areas where you can see the sea, right? Hope you have understood both the very important extended forms of animal husbandry, that is apiculture and fishery. So all these two concepts are very important from examination point of view. Hope you have understood about the beekeeping, that is apiculture, as well as fisheries. What are the advantages of beekeeping? What are the advantages of fisheries, etc., etc. Now, what are we going to study in the coming session? So, in the coming session, I'm going to continue with the remaining concepts of this very important chapter called that is the strategies for enhancement of food production, where we'll be studying about, I think you have already come across what is breeding, types of breeding, outcrossing, inbreeding, outbreeding, all that. So, what is plant breeding you are going to study, and also what is mutation breeding. So, the remaining concepts, as I said, in the coming sessions I'll be dealing with in detail about this very important chapter called strategies for enhancement in food production. So, hope you have understood to some extent about beekeeping and fishery. So, in the coming session I'll be dealing with the remaining concepts. Till then, goodbye and thank you.